and welcome to another episode of Roettgen Braai Master. Today we're making a roasted rack of lamb with a Dijon mustard and breadcrumb crust. And as sides, we're going to have chanterelles and King Oyster mushrooms in a white wine and cream sauce. And what you need for it and how to do all of this, I'm going to show you in this episode. Alright, and this is all we need for today's dish. Obviously we need two wonderful racks of lamb. I think they look absolutely fantastic. They're fresh, just how they should be. We need some garlic, we need some onions. Now you can use small onions, you can use red onions, you can use shallots, you can pretty much use any onion you like. We need some Dijon mustard, we need some cream, we need salt and pepper. Then we have these wonderful King Oyster mushrooms. We have the chanterelles over here. We need some olive oil, some white wine. We need some breadcrumbs. We need some parsley and some rosemary. Almost forgot about it. Anyways, so in the next step, we're going obviously to peel the onions. We're going to peel the garlic. We're going to make the breadcrumb crust and set that to the side. The racks are already Frenched, so that's what we're going to start off with. Alright, all the chopping is done. Now what I've already done is I've combined the breadcrumbs, the garlic, the rosemary, salt and pepper into this bowl. We're going to mix it and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to it, and then we're going to set it aside. Now it's very important that you try to cut the rosemary as well as the garlic very finely, because you obviously don't want to bite down onto those large chunky pieces when you're eating your lamb later on. Alright, that looks about right. And now we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Depending on the amount of breadcrumbs you've used, now how finely they are, you may have to use a third or maybe like another half a tablespoon of olive oil. But I'm quite happy on how this looks already. You don't want it to be too wet, because obviously the Dijon mustard is going to act as a binding agent on the meat. Now for the racks, what you want to do is you want to cover it in salt and pepper from all sides. But obviously we're going to put the breadcrumb Dijon mustard cover on it, so you don't actually have to go too heavy on it. But just to make sure that you get some nice flavors directly on the meat as well. As we're also going to sear it first before we put the breadcrumbs on. You just want to get that added flavor. Also, I like to take them out about half an hour before I actually start to cook, so they have a good room temperature. The barbecue is preheated to 200 degrees, and we're now going to put the meat on. And what we're going to do is we're going to sear it meat down first for about 4 minutes, and then we're going to put it bone side down until it reaches an internal temperature of about 58 degrees. So the 4 minutes are up, and we're going to put them, as I said, bone side down in the indirect zone. So I've only turned on the super high part of the barbecue on this side, and now they're going to stay there until they reach the internal temperature. While the racks of lamb are coming up to temperature, we're going to take care of the mushrooms. And what I've done is I've preheated a pan. We're going to give some olive oil into it and some butter and let that melt. In the next step, we're going to add the onions as well as the garlic and roast them a little bit. And guys, I apologize for the quality of the sound, but it's really windy today, and obviously as we're cooking outdoors, there's nothing we can really do about it. Alright, so we're going to let that simmer for a little while, and then we're going to add the mushrooms. All right, now the mushrooms go in, and don't worry, it looks like a lot, but they're going to lose a lot of water. And then in a little while we're going to add the King Oyster mushrooms. All right, now we're going to add some flour to it and mix it in, and that will give a nice coloring to the mushrooms as well. Just make sure to really get it all over the place. And that will also bind some of the moisture that the mushrooms have given off. And as the last step, we're going to add the cream, as well as the white wine and the parsley, and let that come back up to a simmer, and then cover it until we're ready to eat. Alright, I've taken off the racks. They're sitting at about 54 degrees, so just in time to put the mustard on, as well as the breadcrumb mix. And as I said, we're just going to use the mustard as a binding agent. So we're going to slap it all around, slap it on, to make sure that they stick and give us that nice bark that we're looking for later on. Alright, they're breaded now, and now they're going to go back on the barbecue for another couple of minutes until we reach our desired temperature. Alright guys, we've reached our internal temperature of 58 degrees. The meat has rested for a little while longer, and now we're going to cut it open. So, in essence, moment of truth. We'll do a center cut. But I would say that is absolutely to the point. It looks absolutely delicious. So I'm going to plate up now, and then I'll see you for a final review. Alright guys, and there you have it. Our rack of lamb with the Dijon mustard, breadcrumb crust, and the chanterelles and King Oyster mushrooms in a white wine and cream sauce as a side. We're going to dig in now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up and a comment, and please hit that subscribe button for more great videos to come. And I hope to see you soon again at Roettgen Braai Master.